Jacob's ladder is a fascinating biblical story found in Genesis chapter 28 verses 10 to 22. In this story, Jacob, the son of Isaac and grandson of Abraham, has a dream in which he sees a ladder, or staircase, extending from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. The dream occurs during a critical moment in Jacob's life as he is fleeing from his brother Esau. Let's explore the meaning and significance of this vision, and how Jesus later connects it to his own ministry. The story of Jacob's ladder, Genesis chapter 28 verses 10 to 22. Jacob, after deceiving his father Isaac and taking the blessing intended for Esau, flees to his uncle Laban's house in Haran. On his journey, he stops to rest at a place called Luz. Using a stone for a pillow, he falls asleep and dreams of a ladder, or stairway, that reaches from earth to heaven. Angels are moving up and down the ladder, and above the ladder stands the Lord, who speaks to Jacob, reaffirming the promises made to Abraham. The land on which Jacob is lying will be given to him and his descendants. Jacob's descendants will be numerous, like the dust of the earth. Blessing to all nations. Through Jacob and his offspring, all the families of the earth will be blessed. When Jacob wakes up, he is filled with awe and declares, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." He names the place Bethel, meaning house of God, and makes a vow to God, committing to worship him if he protects Jacob on his journey. Interpretation of Jacob's ladder. Jacob's dream of the ladder is a profound image, symbolizing the connection between heaven and earth, between God and humanity. There are several layers of meaning to explore. God's presence. The ladder signifies God's ongoing connection with his people. It shows that even though Jacob is fleeing from home and in a precarious situation, God is still with him. This is a reassurance of God's omnipresence and faithfulness to his promises. Angels' role. The angels ascending and descending on the ladder demonstrate that heaven is not distant from the affairs of earth. Angels serve as God's messengers and agents of his will, constantly moving between the two realms, symbolizing the activity and care of God over human life. The covenant. God reiterates the promises he made to Abraham and Isaac. The ladder is a visual reminder that God's covenant with Jacob is firmly established and that through him, the blessings of God will flow to all nations. Bethel, house of God. Jacob's realization that this place is sacred represents humanity's encounter with the divine. It shows that God can be found anywhere, even in the wilderness, as long as one is open to his presence. Jesus' explanation of Jacob's ladder. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to Jacob's ladder in John chapter 1 verse 51. Speaking to Nathanael, Jesus says, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." Here, Jesus directly links the imagery of Jacob's ladder to himself. Let's break down what he means by this. Jesus as the ladder. Just as Jacob's ladder bridged the gap between heaven and earth, Jesus is the ultimate bridge between God and humanity. He is the mediator through whom we gain access to God. In other words, Jesus is the ladder by which the divine reaches down to us and through whom we can ascend to heaven. Through his incarnation, death, and resurrection, Jesus reconciles humanity to God. Angels' role in Jesus' ministry. the angels ascending and descending on the Son of Man, emphasize the divine activity surrounding Jesus' life and mission. Throughout his ministry, angels are present, at his birth, temptation, resurrection, etc., underscoring the divine authority and significance of his work on earth. Heaven opened. Jesus' reference to the heavens being opened signifies that through him, the barriers between God and humanity are removed. Just as Jacob saw the heavens opened in his dream, now Jesus, through his life, death, and resurrection, provides permanent access to God's kingdom. Spiritual lessons from Jacob's ladder. God's presence in every circumstance. Jacob's encounter with God occurred while he was on the run, in a time of fear and uncertainty. This teaches us that no matter where we are in life, God is present and working, even when we might not realize it. We can always encounter God if we are open to him. Jesus as our mediator. The ultimate fulfillment of Jacob's ladder is found in Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. John chapter 14 verse 6. Just as Jacob's ladder provided a link between heaven and earth, Jesus is the eternal connection between us and the Father. Through him, we have access to God's grace and eternal life. A call to commitment. Jacob's vow to serve God at Bethel is a reminder that when we encounter God, it should lead to a transformation in how we live. Like Jacob, when we experience God's grace and presence, we are called to respond with faith and dedication to him. Conclusion. Jacob's ladder is a rich and multi-layered image that reveals deep truths about God's relationship with humanity. It not only speaks of God's faithfulness to his promises but also foreshadows the ultimate mediator, Jesus Christ, who bridges the gap between heaven and earth. Through him, the heavens are opened, and we are invited into a personal and eternal relationship with God.